Hi everyone, Menachem Brody here once again for Human Vortex Training. Here we are, the middle of August. Now it's getting to the point of the season where we need to start thinking about transition. We need to get away from the bike. For some of the collegiate athletes that I've coached in the Atlantic Coast Cycling Conference, whose season started the middle of February, now is the time of year I like to take my hands off as a coach, give them last training plan ending the next week or two and tell them, if you feel like riding your bike for the next 2.5, 3 weeks, great. If you want to get away from it and do other stuff, that's fine. If you want to spend the next 3 days laying on the sofa, just make sure you're eating something healthy, not all junk food. This is a very important part of the year. I know as a recreational cyclist, before I got into sport, it was very hard the end of August, early September, when the weather's turning cooler, you're feeling really motivated because you have all this fitness from the summer, and it's very difficult to pull the reins back because you're so amped up. The weather's turning cooler, I want to go longer, prepare for next year. Let me tell you from experience as a coach, and especially as an athlete, we don't want to get into overtraining or overreaching, which is more common, the overreaching. Take a week or two off now, put the bike down, do something else, and that's what we have here on the table behind me. This is a great time of year to take a family vacation, leave the bike at home, rent a beach cruiser or rent a mountain bike and do something away from your normal sport. If you're a triathlete, I would strongly recommend taking a week off completely. Go for massage, go for yoga, go for Pilates, do the foam roller at home. Cyclists, this is a great tool. Just know that for the foam roller, we need to make sure that you are using it consistently. Using it once or twice a week is not going to do it enough. This should be a 3 to 5 day minimum a week thing or a daily thing, working on those hot spots, the hip flexors, the quadriceps, the calves, the chest as well. We have a yoga mat representing yoga or Pilates up here. I also have a kettlebell, which some of you who have watched my USA Cycling Coaches presentation understand how to use a little bit. But these are some important things that tend to go off the beaten path and are a little neglected by cyclists. Try and make sure you guys are taking at least 3 to 4 months out of the year to focus a little bit more on strengthening your weak areas. So the glutes, for a lot of cyclists, tend to get neglected, runners as well, and triathletes. Hamstrings we want to strengthen. We want to work on the extensors of the back for the cyclist, working out the imbalances at the shoulders as well, and bringing the head back into a neutral posture. The soccer ball here represents just different sports. Now, if you're a cyclist, you're used to having your feet locked into pedals and going around in a circle, so unless you've played soccer before and you know that you're pretty sturdy with it, I wouldn't recommend going to a pickup game right away. And even if you have, I'd take a week or two practicing skills. But as a cyclist, it's something you don't normally do. Something that really struck me when I was much younger as a coach. I went to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, and they were playing they were doing wide receiver patterns for the men's rowing team, which was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my coaching career, watching a bunch of rowers who are used to doing this, try and catch a football. But the point is that in the transition period of the year, we want to give you guys something else to do. So soccer, basketball, volleyball, swimming, bowling, choose something that you can do. Go easy into it. Don't go all out because we don't want to turn an ankle or hurt a knee. But make sure you're doing something outside of your sport this time of year. So the 3 take-home goals are, number 1, take at least 7 to 14 days off from your sport. Really important. Number 2, we want to make sure that you're working on your weaknesses. So be it strength training with a kettlebell, strength training in a standard gym with a personal trainer who's certified by the NSCA or ACSM, or going to some yoga and Pilates classes. The one word of caution with yoga is that it's a lengthening and strengthening through that longer range of motion, which may not be appropriate for all motions at the hip. And also make sure that you're using the foam roller. Number 3, make sure that you are taking some time with your family and that you are also making sure to get some fresh produce into your body. Very important this time of year. We tend to be a little bit more acidic with our blood, so we want to have more of the alkaline-based foods, so fruits and vegetables. Dark leafy greens are phenomenal. They're all coming into season or just out of season right now. I have a couple people that I know from Russia that they said that finding fresh vegetables, summer was a time for growth because you could find them. One of them remembers eating onion a day for vitamin C to keep from getting scurvy. I mean, if you had green onions or parsley, if you had parsley, then that was a treat. But nowadays we're very fortunate and that's not the case. So please make sure that you guys are eating enough fresh fruits and vegetables and are making time for your family and taking time away from the bike for at least 10 to 14 days at most 3 weeks. And we'll talk a little bit about letting that weight come up and why that's important in our next video. So remember, train smarter, not harder, and it is all about you.